I'm talking about debates. Debates could be about anything from sports to snacks to is Brett Cooper actually attractive or not. One thing I've found in common with all of these things, everyone who debates automatically thinks they're right, and it annoys the fuck out of me. Like, I understand when you're debating someone, you have to prove that you're right. However, I think people go way too far when they're trying to prove a point or prove their point. Like, when debates used to happen, I'm not even talking about back in the day, I'm talking about maybe even a decade ago. People used to listen and agree to disagree if they couldn't come up with a solution. And slowly over the years, it's turned to you either agree or you're a terrible human person. I had to say person right there because, you know, these people be wilding. Or you're just a dick rider. That's the two extremes you get to nowadays. But I found that when talking about politics, most people are pretty middle grounded. Like, they shout a lot on YouTube and on social media, but most people aren't really that extreme from what I've encountered in day-to-day life. Whatever side they kind of decide on, they will do whatever it takes to make sure they disassociate themselves from the other side, even if they agree. But just because one side may be liberal, one side may be a bit more conservative, they will do whatever it takes to distance themselves from each other. That's just stupid. So I'm going to talk about what's been happening in Canada recently. They've been wilding, I can't lie. The shit they're doing over there is crazy. You can get in trouble for not supporting Pride or supporting LGBTQ month or whatever the fuck.
Well, I'll tell you, you are out to lunch. If you think it's acceptable to not show up because you think that there's some Pride activities going on at school, right? Oh, that's fine, you know, because I'm going to show my opinion by hanging out at the mall. But meanwhile, all of those kids who are, you know, involved in, say, the Gay Street Alliance or whatever, I don't even know if we have that anymore in our school, they're here when we did Ramadan for Lion Time, and they're showing respect in the class for your religion, right, for your beliefs. It goes two ways. If you want to be respected for who you are, if you don't want to suffer prejudice for your religion, your color of skin, your whatever, then you got to give it back to people who are different from you. That's how it works. It's an exchange. And it isn't like that in all countries. As I told you, in Uganda, literally, if they think you're gay, they will execute you. If you believe that kind of thing, then you don't belong here. Because that is not what Canada believes. We believe in freedom.
Bro, this is a teacher telling kids that if they don't support Pride Month, they have to leave the country or they shouldn't be in the country in Canada. What the fuck? And the worst thing about this is she tried really using Ramadan and shit like that as if people celebrate Ramadan. Like, nobody celebrates Ramadan. We're just aware, like, growing up in England and going to primary school in England, most people don't really care. Like, Muslim people really keep to themselves. Their religion is their business. They don't throw it in people's faces. And it's not like we have to have a celebration. We don't celebrate Ramadan with Muslim people. We're just aware that they're fasting due to their religion. We pay them respect. And in turn, they pay us respect. How are you guys showing respect by forcing people to come to these Pride festivals and celebrations and all this stuff, especially if the parents don't want them to go? Because remember, these are school kids. People with the mindset of her, how are you supposed to debate that? There's no possible way you think people can have a debate with that. And that's kind of where we've got to in this generation. People just making these flashpoints and gaslighting you, calling you this, calling you that if you don't support what they support. Like, this goes back to my original point. You could debate about anything, but as soon as the topic gets edgy, you can't have out loud opinions anymore. Like, you can hold these opinions with your friends when you have, you know, a little convo with your friends, with your bros in a party or something. You can't just go on YouTube and voice your opinions. I mean, you can, obviously, but let's be honest. Andrew Tate got deplatformed, Sneaker got deplatformed, and we've seen on Twitch, boy, on Twitch it's even worse. You can't say nothing provocative. You can't say nothing conservative or getting that ass banned.
Get that ass banned.
Like, nowadays we're in a hate or perpetuate society. You either get labeled a hater and all these buzzwords, you know, toxic, misogynistic, bigot, what's all in these, homophobic, transphobic, all of these words, right? I can't even think of all of them. Or you force yourself to buy in 100% to topics that you may agree with the overall message. Immoral actions these guys do to try and force an ideology. You may not agree with that, but you have to buy in or else you get labeled these things. Now, yes, I used politics. I went to a serious example, but everyone has a form of government and its own politics, and it can seriously affect people's lives. While the audio I played wasn't from a member of political office or anything like that. They're trying to, or there are people at least attempting to make it mandatory for you to attend Pride and LGBTQ assemblies and marches and all this type of stuff. Well, maybe not marches, but every child or everybody has to participate in these activities. And that's something they're actually trying to make lawful in Canada. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I right? Put it in the comments. You know I read all my comments. The love's been insane. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, like and subscribe. We're on that run for 200 subs, bro. If we hit it, that'll be fucking insane. But yeah, take care, you people.
I'm not a savior nor a saint. Told 30s and sticks with an open case. I try to behave when I know I can't. So purpose of this is to motivate. What's the ticket? Shit we can negotiate. Take a toke of the law while I pour the drink.